This video contains spoilers for the first part of Ninjago Dragons Rising Season 3. So if you haven't seen the season, go watch it. And come back for this video when you're done. Now, on with the show!
Hey, what's going on?
I got you!
Nothing.
Thanks for saving me.
It's finally here. Ninjago Dragons Rising Season 3 is probably one of the most anticipated seasons for Ninjago in a while, and LEGO knows this. With all the marketing push it was getting, also with everything that was set up in Season 2, this had the chance for being one of the best seasons in the Ninjago franchise. With the previous season setting up the Forbidden Five as the big bad, continuing Jay's amnesia journey and its effects, and also Aaron's departure from the team in order to find his parents, along with his relationship with the ninja. This season had a lot to live up to, and I think it lived up to most of them. So, I'm just going to talk about my positives and negatives for the first part of this season, and you can see my descent into madness for my negatives.
Hey, that's pretty good.
So, as expected from the show at this point, they are doing a fantastic job with the animation. It's pretty much expected at this point. The rendering quality has improved a lot, and with the water animation especially. Just look at this water. Wildbrain has really come a long way. Also, the fight scenes are as engaging as the second season. The one-take shot fights never get old. Character development for the main characters is also still great. For one, Ross is still as compelling as he was in Season 2, with his motivation still not being the most clear, but seeing the pieces form along with an understandable motivation behind, it is really great to see. That is if he's telling the truth on his motivation. But Ross's character is nothing compared to Aaron and Sora this season. With the season starting to create a narrative that appears to be less focused on the original ninja team, starting with the separation of Aaron, creating scenes to focus on him more over the original team, and now with Sora joining Aaron on his journey to get his parents back. But the journey to get there was very intriguing to follow, with episode 8 finally giving us the origin and how Sora and Aaron met each other, with the flashback also creating parallels to the reunion and forgiveness scene. And it's just done so well. Sora using Aaron's grappling hook to save him and leading to them apologizing to each other and hugging it out. That's the good stuff. And it makes me happy. Frank being the character also assisting with Aaron's arc to realize that Ross's methods are not always the best, coinciding with his personality and his relationship status with the team. And can I just say, I am glad they did not let Aaron go full evil mode on the ninja. He is still the same character, but his only resentment being towards Sensei Wu, and separating himself from the team was only done so he wouldn't hurt them from his most likely reckless action. Everything just felt so natural. Aaron separates from the ninja team, he clarifies he doesn't resent them at all, and he's willing to work with them since he still sees them as his allies, but he would rather still stay away from them because he believes they can't help with his parents. And Sora, being his best friend and not wanting to be alone, decides to go with him, to keep both his and her emotions in check. So yes, I am happy, but also sad about the direction that both Aaron and Sora's characters taking, and hopefully they pull it off in part 2 of this season. Also, Sora and Frank Shippers arise, because the writers are teasing the sign, so get out that fan art, go, go, go! Now, enough about the sci-fi duo, let's talk about Jay. And thank God they didn't ruin his current story trajectory, following through with his shattered goodness plot point from Season 2, and mixing it still with his natural goofy nature. It's just great, and felt, well, natural. His relationship with the main ninja team is still in the air, but at least they can finally talk about it by part 2. And it just keeps getting better with the fact that Jay finally gets to join the ninja team again. Though not on stable terms, but at least they're getting there. Also, I am so glad they finally brought back the fact that Jay is naturally an inventor, along with Nia, which they already brought back that aspect of her in Season 1. And the tools that Jay creates this season are pretty cool. Daggers powered by his lightning abilities, and an exosuit that doubles as falcon wings. So any scene where he decides to get serious and hunt Ross down with his newfound tech is always exciting to watch. Like, he was literally just aura farming the whole time, which is something I wish I could say about the Forbidden Five.
What is this shit?
So, the Forbidden Five. I'll be honest, as of the moment of me writing this script, I was a bit disappointed with them. And looking back at them in Season 2, I realized I should not have been disappointed with their role in Season 3 because, for one, the Forbidden Five were set up as one of the most dangerous elemental masters of the realms, decimating villages and kingdoms around the wellness, and implying the destruction of Chima according to Ross. And it was a good setup, with Ross just free and knocked alone, showing how dangerous one Forbidden Five member can be. But instead, we ended up getting a team of villains who barely show up for the season until the very end of that arc, with very bland motivations, which is to rule the merged realms, which I don't know why that wasn't my sign. The Forbidden Five were not going to be the greatest villains, and with only 2 out of 5 of them actually getting a really great scene, with Drix and Noct having their standout scenes and showing why they are worthy of their title. Also, my biggest complaint about them is that we still don't know how their powers work, especially Zark and Rox. We already understand how Noct's brute force works now, because he demonstrated it by blowing up a rock with a charged punch, or sending an explosive beam. That makes sense now why it's called brute force. It's to create an explosive force. But then you get Zark, whose powers is called Misfortune, and we didn't get to see how it works because he just kept using it for energy blast, which doesn't really scream misfortune, and Rox never even used her elemental powers at all, which is such a missed opportunity since her power was rumored to be fear. And they could have used that ability to take advantage of Lloyd's visions, which, for one, were also not present in this season so far. Like, at least Kerr had a proper scene demonstrating her powers with her decaying Roby. But what's worse is that once the Forbidden Five start to get cool, they are immediately wiped out and replaced with an even cooler villain, which is Thunderfang. And in the 20 minutes of screen time he had, he made the most of it, showing his strength through his sheer size and his ability to literally kill people and absorb their abilities, with him being practically immortal, since even though you can kill him, he can just come back again by sucking the souls of the departed, showing off why he was caged instead of being decimated by the Archdragon of Focus. Like, where was this writing for the Forbidden Five? You know, the villains you've been setting up for over a year? I think what could have fixed the Forbidden Five for me was to show and not tell, because there was a whole lot of telling and not a lot of showing. Also, what the hell was Cole doing the whole time? Now, I am not blaming the writers or saying they are incompetent, because adding another 5 characters to a cast of over 10 people who were already written fantastically is not an easy job. So yeah, it was just really clear where their priority was this season, which was Aaron and his relationship with our main cast, which I think is a fair trade-off, because what they did for Sora and Aaron this season really worked. Hey guys, sorry if it sounded like I hated this season, I really don't. In fact, I enjoyed it more than the first season of Dragon's Rising. It's just my disappointment of the Forbidden Five just led me on a rant, and I assure you, my problems with this season are heavily overshadowed by my positives, because I can't really put into words my positives properly. So the character stories this season, though taking up a lot of time for other scenes, were all fantastic, and I'm not sure I would trade those scenes to end up with mediocre conclusions for them. That's my review for Ninjago's Dragon's Rising Season 3 Part 1. Hopefully Part 2 fixes the Forbidden Five, because I know they're coming back according to the LEGO sets, but check out the videos recommended here, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you guys in the next video.